Hey, everybody, and welcome back. I don't know how many people were on the pre-show today. You guys know? Anybody? How many people we have on the pre-show?
How many?
Five randos
Five randos?
on
Yep.
TikTok, you know.
Okay, well,
It was a first run,
The
you know.
tiki,
Okay,
the tiki talkies,
The tiki-talkies.
the tiki
Oh,
We're
talkies.
gonna get that TikTok going.
We already got some haze going on here. I'm going to switch over to this one, okay? Because I know the Facebook people will be going. So, welcome everybody to the Car Grumps. This is a show about psychos who love cars way too much. Therapy pending. So, first up, I want to show you the guy. Yes, that's you. Yep, psychos. And first up is going to be our guy, Dozer. Hello, Dozer. Say hello.
What's going on, everybody?
All right.
Glad to be back.
And as was well everybody should be, because this is going to be a good show tonight. And then we got over here.
Show.
Oh, wrong guy.
Wrong guy.
There you go, Mayor
All the
Phil.
buttons. All the buttons.
The Phil, the mayor of Tunertown, the one and only.
Hi guys.
And then there is me. Some people like me because I sleep above my covers, but few know that I don't use shaving cream with my razor. So,
What?
I am Primo. Hold on, you got to get the lower third here so it looks really important.
Yeah, we got to be professional.
I am professional. There you go. Now everybody's Primo.
Hold on. So
No shaving cream.
You don't use shaving cream?
We're gonna kick
I
things
do
off
not
with that
use shaving
tonight.
cream. No, a lot of times I don't. I mean, there are times when I do because this right here is real sensitive, but no, a lot of times I don't.
Just
Yeah, just go house on it. Just chop it all off. I'm telling you, it's a high speed world we live in. Poor Phil. I've never seen you so you're just like totally like not. Like,
I'm just.
the two guys with the best beard here are questioning me on how I shave.
All the stuff. No, hey, listen.
Well,
hey,
Listen, I've been shaving my head for
I mean,
years now.
I haven't had time to shave. I am the laziest shaver ever.
Yeah,
At least you still got a head of hair.
there's got you there.
I've nared my head before.
That's
That's
really
a story.
That can't be good.
It says right on the bottle, do not
Oh,
apply
boy.
to scalp. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm done with this stuff.
And you were like,
I just
I don't
want
care.
it
Cares
gone.
about the rules,
I just
right?
want it gone.
Yep.
Yep.
What the hell?
Yep.
All right. Did everybody have a good weekend this weekend?
Great weekend.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with
What'd you
no.
do?
What I do, I'm still reading this comment from this weirdo.
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't
What
worry
is
about
that?
that. We have a great opportunity on Kick and
We
whatever.
have a great opportunity. Listen,
Yeah, just I'd go back to the Facebook people who have value. But anyway,
yeah. Listen, Joy from Kick, take your business proposition and put it on somebody else's
Right.
channel.
well, Mark Lincoln says he
Business is
hates the
not
cold.
wanted.
Hi,
Well-
Mark. Yeah, I hate the cold too. Listen, I hate the cold so much. I made a very stupid decision today.
What?
Oh yeah. Oh Christ.
What did you do?
So, like, I got out of work and I had some time to burn before I came here. So I said, you know what? My truck is full of salt, so I'm going to give it a bath.
Uh-oh.
Dude, the wind blew
Ooh.
and oh God. Like, you know when you smash your fingers in the car door and your stomach turns?
yes,
Yeah,
I
that's
do,
how I felt
actually.
for about 25 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, I went to New England Farms up the street and I legit was like, I had the hot hands and I'm like running. Oh my God. Yeah. Listen, let me tell you. You know how everybody says, Mama didn't raise no fool. Well, guess what? That's the opposite. That was the opposite. Oh God.
That was not the thing you were looking for.
Yeah, and I
Okay,
wasn't
got
even
it.
the sibling born. I wasn't even the sibling born with a fucking umbilical cord around my neck either. Let me tell you, and I still lost.
That was actually
oxygen.
me, funny enough.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was born a Smurf baby. This is what it is.
God.
But anyway, so I wanted to bring something up today. Now, not many people know. My father-in-law actually passed away Sunday. He was probably one of the most powerful people in the family. Just such a good father-in-law that was there for everybody, and was just like I said. It's like Jay knows him from the time that we worked on the the water heater and stuff. So a lot of the stuff that you see here was his instruction, empowering us, putting the stuff together, and really teaching, like, really my wife to be one of the coolest people on the planet Earth. So I can thank him for both that and everything else. But I wanted to give everybody, I wanted to do us the big old thing for tonight. Thank you to Jim. Thank you for your time, man. Jim. You're the best.
Cheers, right. Jim.
Yep.
And again, I know I said it on Facebook. I said it to your wife upstairs.
Yep.
But my condolences, and if you guys need anything, you guys know.
I appreciate. I'm just one of those people that just cannot ask for stuff. I am the same way. But you know what? Every once in a while, it's just, like it's. Oh God, I know it's. Say it. Right.
I don't know. I'm just getting stuck. Like,
dude.
My brain. I'm trying to differentiate things 100 miles an hour, and like my brain doesn't do good with all that. So.
I don't. Listen, I don't think well. That's my thing. Actually.
I'm still trying to get you. I'm still getting used to filtering out all the swear words. All right.
You know what? I'm wondering about that. It's like, Jay's like, I don't know. I gotta let it out. Oh my gosh. You know what? That was something I think you brought up today, Phil, that I wanted to do this. We were thinking about having guests on, and we are going to have them on at some point. But I think that this right here is probably one of the coolest things you've ever saw.
What? Oh, yeah.
And who is this, Phil?
That's my boy Hershey.
Oh, there you go.
That's my boy Hershey.
And what does he do? Or what doesn't he do?
No, he does everything, actually. Okay. Like that dude... Everywhere from autocross, drifting, ice racing, putting tracks on an R34. Yep. I think that's a GTR, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it looks GTR, we'll go back to it here. Let's see if we can.
Let's take a look. Yeah, that's definitely. You know what? That's a GTR or an Nismo because that's Hershey. Hershey don't play around with no base model shit.
No.
Like, Dave is a madman, and... He's probably one of the coolest people I've met thus far. Like, just, he's nuts.
So my roommate in South Korea, he's like really big into the Nissans, and he was like ordering parts while he was in South Korea, shipping them back from Japan. But as soon as you said the name, Dave Hershey, I was like, wow,
we knew who it was.
My buddy went, my buddy went and bought a car from him, and he's out in Colorado.
Yeah.
So he flew, I want to say, where is it, New Hampshire?
That's right. You were saying something about that.
Yeah, probably New Hampshire. He's all over the place, but either New Hampshire or Rhode Island, like either north or south of us. I know he's in New Hampshire now.
Well, I think I just want to call him out, and I want to say, you know what? We have a spot here on the show that I think either wirelessly or if you want to be in-house, I think he would have some cool stuff to show off.
Oh, dude! Listen, he's got a LS swapped S15. Like, the dude's a madman.
Right.
Like, he's a nut.
Yeah.
I sent him a text today, so it'll take him about a week or two to respond back to me.
Oh, so we're already ahead of this.
Listen, come on, listen.
So you're saying this is a no play Wednesday?
Oh, this is a no play Wednesday because I don't play.
No, you don't. I don't think you ever play. Do
no,
you?
No. I tread very lightly.
Yes.
I tread very lightly.
But he carries a big car.
Oh God. Yeah. Yep. It's parked outside.
He actually, what I do like is it's one of those guys that does the Instagram stuff really well, and I really like his stuff. He does it very well, but he does it very seldomly. Right.
Like, he doesn't post a lot on social media. The dude's always on the go. He's always on the run. He's getting cars, or like he's working on something up north. I don't want to say because I don't know what.
You can't.
Exactly.
Don't do it.
I won't. But yeah. He's just a nut. Love him to pieces.
Well, yeah, you know what? Do you know what I meant? It's like something weird about that too. Is I've noticed that we don't see like car models anymore. Where the heck happened to all the car models?
Yeah, what happened to all the car models?
I think there was a thing that came out. becoming an Instagram model, an online model, and
so you're saying that OnlyFans took them all,
and OnlyFans, of course. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, you got ladies out here, making 6 figures, showing their toes.
That's a very Pulp Fiction thing to do. What is it, Quentin Tarantino?
Crazy world we live in, man, and we're enabling this. Not me.
We are actually. Yeah.
Listen, no, hell no.
Phil No Toe channels for you.
That's one listen.
Spend your money wisely.
Like I
spending on car parts.
I spend my money listen. I'll tell you, I spend my money stupidly. Like if I see something I want, I get it. But you know what? That's one thing I will not spend money on.
Picture on some toes.
There we go. There we go. See, I will spend all. See, that's my model right there.
Yeah.
That's me, baby.
I know where all his money is going.
That's me, baby. But you know what? Like, it's just like, I don't even know how this, OnlyFans stuff works. But
it's pretty simple. What you do is you turn it on. You just turn it on and just roll your money and just ching 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 to whatever naked thing is in front of you. I think that's how it works.
So anyway, back to the models. Are they gone?
It's a good job. Dozer comes in.
Where are the models at? Are they gone? Are they still here? No. Or do we care? Are we more into the cars now than ever? Are we more about not sexualizing women anymore? I don't know.
The Rockabilly girls are still out there. The Rockabilly girls are still there.
You know what's so funny about the woke society, though, is the woke society will do all the OnlyFans. They'll go off, but they want to they respect me.
Right. And you know what?
How am I, as a man, supposed to respect you when you sell pictures of your brown-eyed spread eagle?
Here's it, Dozer. You guys know the Whatever podcast?
No.
Okay, I gotta introduce you to that podcast. I think we should vote for you to be on it. I think it's just once you see it, you're gonna be like, oh, it's a whole thing of OnlyFans girls, and your job is gonna be able to not only say the things you say, but also to be like, you girls need to come to the car scene because I'm telling you, we're dying to have you over here.
I mean, and you know what? It's just I don't knock the hustle.
Yeah,
I really don't, because you know what? These girls are making 6 figures. Okay,
how crazy is that?
That's insane. That's insane. But you know what blows my mind even more?
What's that?
Is that the male on top of the female population, they're actually paying for this.
Yeah,
they're actually it's people like us who sit on the other end of the screen, and they do you have to subscribe, or do you I don't even know
you have to be. I mean, there's guys that have spend millions of dollars just going to somebody's channel. I guess it's and
it's just I don't understand it, but the everyday average working Joe who works a 9 to 5 is going on there and living a fantasy.
So
there you go, Brooks. See, Brooks is like, I ain't paying for it when you can go to the hub for free.
I can get to the hub for free. I still like what Amy says, and she says, does all these milkshakes bring the boys to the yard?
I guess so.
Not all of them.
Not all of them. Because you know what? I'm content with what I have at home.
I have not gone to a show since Rodney DVA. I don't know if he wants me to say his whole name, but he's been on the show before. Since Rodney brought models to shows, that was the last time I had him bring. And he had 3 people with him and an entourage, and he just took tons of pictures, and they were great.
Question.
Okay.
You set up shows before. You both been involved.
Yeah, absolutely.
With setting up shows. What are these models getting paid?
So when I did the Do It for Justin show, I paid them $300 a piece.
Nice.
So I had 3 models there, $900. And models are a part of the scene.
Yep.
Like the import scene, the muscle scene, the exotic scene, all that stuff. And you know what? It's just, I don't know how the hell it got intertwined in it.
Yep.
But it's just honestly, it's, and I don't have a problem. I enjoy it. I have pictures, me and my wife. My wife sees models. She's like, "Oh, take pictures with the Jeep." I was like, "No, take pictures on it. They're standing on the roof.
Yeah.
They're like, it's just, I mean, but it's a part of the culture,
right?
And it's not sexualizing women either. Like they wear their skimpy shirts.
You know,
and stuff
I just
like
say
that. Like,
you guys obviously know. I'm just saying that, but
no, absolutely.
I think
I do get naked dad for 6 figures.
You know, is it dying out of the car scene though? I mean, I've seen shows that have it a lot. I mean, a lot of car shows are kind of going. I mean, a lot of the local ones are going more towards a family atmosphere, and you know. But what are the big ones that will have these models? And
Electro at Input Evolution, he has the bikini contest, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, he doesn't play. That's why I like about it too.
He don't play. He does not play. You know, and it's crazy because, you know, a lot of these models now have an OnlyFans.
Right.
And
I think that's the idea is you can make, but I just want to say, like, you can do the weekday stuff and then on the weekend show up and be a pinup or something. And like, nobody at a car show asks you to take your clothes off that I'm aware of. They just ask you to sit by the car and make the car look pretty. So, I mean, what's wrong with that? You know what I mean?
I mean, I'll make 6 figures right now.
There you go. Done.
No, like right on the show, right this moment. I'll make 6 figures with doing what I'm doing, and I'll show off my new Silver City Stance shirt.
She should show that Stance shirt off.
Yeah.
Well, you guys want to see me make 6 figures right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wall showing off the shirt.
There it is.
Woo!
Show
6
it off.
figures.
Instantly demonetized. There you
All right,
go.
let's
Look
see
at
that
there's the
logo.
shirt.
Okay.
Silver City Stance. Check that out.
Spin it out.
There you go. Right here. There you go. I
Big
gave you
shout out to
the big camera. There you go.
Big shout out to man. Oh shit.
There you go.
Wait,
Nope.
There we go. Just pick one. Big shout out to Manny and Erin. Erin did an awesome job.
Dope logo.
Yep. Do they have like a studio thing, or they just do it?
No, she works for a screen printing company out of Plymouth, but she designed this. She designed this on her own. I think she goes to school for something like that. But
graphic design.
Yeah. But she does she's really good at designing stuff.
Yep. Now put your skirt back on.
I kind of want to do the rest of the show with no shirt on.
Yeah, right. No.
Put it on now.
Three kids are just ruined right now. They're like, "What did we come on here for? Make the bad man go away." All right, so let's talk about what we came here to talk about tonight.
Said you're a weirdo.
Other than naked Phil, that was your new OnlyFans channel right there.
Yeah, right there. Yeah. Hey, listen,
that was the beginning and the end.
I just heard like change hitting the screens. So
I know. Anyway. I just got hit by a quarter.
But what we did come here tonight to talk about is all of our panelists have picked out what we could call like our 3 kind of underrated cars. But before we do that, don't forget, guys, you got to like, you got to subscribe, you got to hit all the thumbs, or I have Dozer over here break some of those thumbs.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
This ain't, you don't ride for free here. What do you take me for?
That looks broken, don't it?
There you go. That's a broken thumb. Yeah, but what we're going to talk about is some underrated cars. So everybody here picked 3 cars that they really want to see as their next big car thing. So, yeah, I wanted to go over them. So who wants to start?
You guys can start. I will go last.
I say it's Dozer's
I'll
up.
Kick it off.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead. Which
right.
one am I hitting here?
So let's kick things off with the number 1 sleeper, I believe.
Okay.
The Buick Regal.
Is that the
GS?
Hold on.
The Buick Regal GS?
Yes.
I got to figure out where it's at.
Supercharged, 3.8 liter. This thing was making 240 horsepower. Just an ultimate sleeper.
240
Is it this one?
Ultimate sleeper.
Yes.
That one?
Yeah,
Boy.
boy.
You know what?
You know what? Nobody's going to think anything of it when you pull up to the light with that thing.
Yeah. How much is that thing making for power?
240 from the factory.
Okay.
From the factory?
From the
Dude,
factory.
Grandma's cruising, bro.
Yeah.
Swap the pulley out.
What did the Marauders used to make? That was the one with the Mustang motor, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
What did they make?
I have. What did they make?
Is that on your list?
Somebody, no, it's not on the list. That's the thing. I think that people knew about the Marauder, and for some reason, because the Mustang existed, it's kind of like, why get a Marauder if you can get a Mustang?
Marauder's a classier.
Do you feel like people expected the performance out of the Marauder?
Well, it's kind of like, what was the Taurus? The Taurus was, remember the show? Yeah,
the Yamaha motor.
Right.
Yes.
So it was like that thing was like the thing, and everybody dug it, but it was so tough to work on. It was like it broke in weird ways.
Yeah, that's another one.
What was it?
The Super Coupe.
What's that one?
That was the Thunderbird.
Yeah.
I want to say that was another 6-cylinder supercharged.
Oh, was it?
I believe so. Mm-hmm. I didn't. That's not on my list, but that is another one. Great sleeper from the late 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
All right.
Next car on the list. You want me to run down the list?
No, I'm going to do mine next.
Okay,
it's my turn. Well, unless Phil wants to go.
Phil, you want to go? You can go.
You want to go? Okay.
Have at it.
So I cannot believe a lot of people. So there's a lot of stuff now is being imported. So these new import stuff can come in, and there's a lot of cars that I kind of picked that really felt like, people don't realize because we didn't have access to them in America how big they were. And that my first one was the Nissan President.
Yes.
Now, everybody here I know likes the luxury thing.
I love those
And that
cars.
car right there was never offered in the U.S. It's like the limo thing for Nissan. So it was like a big thing. Has a ton of aftermarket options. It's longer than the Infiniti stuff that we get here. And I just think that the car is incredible.
Yeah.
That reminds me of a car I had, the
What's that?
Diamante.
Oh, yeah.
Except that's on a much higher level.
Yeah.
But
yeah, see, now you got me. Yeah, but exactly. It has the
I
same
love
kind of
my
like
Diamante.
look to it.
It had no paint on it at all.
That's a Mitsubishi, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
That thing was
and you know what?
invincible.
That's what it was. That had the 4. It was a version of it, VR4 with the 4G, the Eclipse motor, the GSX motor.
Yep.
That
What was that? 4GT?
4G.
Oh,
4G63. There we
Wow.
go. And that was the 220 horsepower Eclipse motor, and they added in that one, and it was like, oh, we need extra motors. Hey, you guys know this car over here has it. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Joe, look at this. I need a Holden Ute in my life.
Whoa.
So I'm gonna. I was not prepared for that statement, but I wish I was. So
I think that's
a Ute.
What the
the
hell?
Holden Ute. You know what? I'll pull it up for
That
you
looks
guys.
like
so you
a,
can see it.
Put them up.
People don't appreciate
Put them up.
Holden like they should. There you go.
Oh yes.
Yep.
So that's like
man.
that. So Holden
it's a
is
GT slow.
Is GM. No, that's that
Ford.
No.
Ford?
GM.
GM. Okay.
GM.
Yeah. Oh, right.
So that would be. So
it's Alcey.
If we had an El Camino, that's
Or
what it would
Australian.
look like. If we had a new age El Camino, that's what it would look like.
Yep.
Because the GTOs are holding somethings over in Australia.
I think what you're saying is that what we've said for many, many moons is that Australia and New Zealand get all the cool cars.
Everybody besides us gets all the cool goddamn cars. Like, come on.
Well, it's your. You know what, Phil?
Never seen it.
It's your turn.
It's my turn.
It is your turn.
You know what? So we were.
What's up, Enzo? Good to see you, buddy.
Hi, Enzo.
He just started
Enzo.
He opened his new shop.
Did he?
Yep.
Wait, out of Boston, right?
No, it's like up next to Worcester.
Oh, really?
I need to get an address. You know what? Well, you know what? I got a better idea. I'm not going to say anything about his thing until he comes on the show and hangs out with us. How's that?
Yeah, Enzo. I think I've met Enzo
Reel
a
him
few
in.
times.
He is a cool dude.
I like Enzo.
All right,
Enzo, so can we do a live episode in the shop?
Ooh, yeah.
Let me know in the comments, bro.
I will set that up. Yeah, he can post it, but I ain't seeing it until you come on the show.
Hey, listen, if you're open on Sundays and we can come to an agreement, the three of us will come down there with a camera and we'll go live right down there with you and we'll have a ball.
He just got a hell yeah and a let's do it, so I'm going with yes.
You know what? I'm gonna break the rule with no swearing. Fuck yeah! Whoa.
There you go. What am I gonna do?
There goes our ratings.
Yep, there goes our ratings. Just
right out.
That's right. I think, dude, as if the OnlyFans thing didn't break us. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Okay, maybe we should put a warning on this show. Just be like, kids,
parental advisory.
PG-13.
So,
okay, go ahead. What's yours?
So we were tasked. We were tasked with sending pictures of 3 cars. I thought it was like 3. Like for the 3 of us.
Yeah, I just did all the work for you. I sent all 3.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought Jay did all the homework.
Cheater.
And so Primo's like, "Oh, did you pick your 3? You didn't send me any pictures." I'm like, "Send you any pictures of what?" He goes, "The 3 cars that you picked." I was like, "I thought Jay."
The worst part is I thought you had sent them and Dozer hadn't. So I'm like.
Yeah, so I almost took all the credit.
Jay, you didn't do your homework.
I'm like, Jay, where's
Jay's
the
like,
pictures? He's like, I sent them.
And you know what the funny thing is I am the guy who does no research. I'm the guy who does no homework.
Right.
And these guys, like, they're on par. They're ready to go. And they do a great job. Like, they know what they're talking about. Like, Primo does all the, Primo has all the ideas, and he knows what he's talking about. Jay does his research. He knows what he's talking about. And then there's me. They're like, oh,
the train wreck.
Did you, I was like, I didn't do anything but be a dumpster fire. That's about it.
Well, I thought the dumpster fire was an underrated car. I mean, especially for being a Ford, but it is what it is.
Wow. Yeah. But yeah, no, underrated car.
Yes.
I'm going to say.
Yes.
Is, and I think everybody knows.
He is literally making it up as he goes.
No, everybody knows where I'm going.
He's still thinking.
Is a smart car.
Oh, he did it. He did it.
Like, honestly.
You know what? I'm going to say this. So here he goes.
Like,
we're just going to do it. Yep, there we go.
No, but honestly, like, it's just. So, okay, I'm going to do a little backstory on this car.
Let's do the backstory.
I'm going to do a little backstory on the smart car.
Okay.
Because.
What?
Anyways, sorry, I was reading something.
I can't keep up anymore. Oh boy! Did we lose something?
I don't know what we lost.
Backstory.
We lost.
But backstory. Anyways, are we still live at least?
Yes, we are.
Yep. So, my father decided to buy 2 smart 453s at the auction.
Okay.
Now there was a line of them, and I thought they were the stupidest, ugliest looking cars I ever seen in my life, dude. Those things are hideous, factory.
Because especially you see 20 of them.
Oh my god, dude! Like they're hideous. They're just like And he's bidding on them, and I look at him. I said, "Dude, what are you doing?" He goes, "Those things are cool," and I'm like, "No, they're not." I'm like, "Dude, what the hell?" I'm like, "What is wrong with you?" So then he buys 2 of them. Comes to me, goes, "Oh, you got to get some of the stuff out of the auction." I said, "Okay." He goes, "Oh, and you got to get my smart cars." I was like, "I got to get the smart cars?" He goes, "Yeah, you got to get the smart cars." I'm like, "Oh, come on, dude." So fine, whatever. I get the smart cars. I drive one back, and I'm like, this is pretty, a little go-kart. I'm like, this is pretty cool. And then the second one, there's like a little button that says E on the top and S on the bottom with like little arrows. And I'm like, I wonder what this button does. And that was a sport mode. I pushed that button, and let me tell you, all 70 horsepower kicked in on that bad boy, but I get back and I told him, I said, I'm going to keep that one. "Oh, you like them now?" I'm like, "Yeah." Then found out there's no aftermarket support for the 453 model in the U.S. So I drove around literally with a cut-off muffler, and I couldn't find no suspension for it. So me and my uncle just heated up the springs and kind of sat on it a little bit, let it sink down. And then the transformation began, slowly but surely. Let me tell you, that thing's been a work in progress for the last 3 years. But as of right now, it is believed to be the most powerful 453 that there is today.
Really?
Yes.
That's
180
awesome.
horse. But there's not a lot
of... just like so much to it, but it weighs nothing.
Oh, it weighs... the curb weight on it is like 1,900 pounds or something.
Yep.
Which, I mean, still, it's heavy for a tiny-ass little car. But, yeah, I haven't seen many power numbers. There's a lot of people in Greece that mess with those cars. And,
yeah.
And there's like a lot of people from the UK mess with those cars, and like they have all the tricks and the trades to
you'd
power.
be amazed at what. Yeah.
But you know, I'd be amazed too, because they wouldn't share any secrets with a yank.
Oh,
Really?
Oh yeah.
Huh.
Oh yeah.
that's racist.
Yeah, they wanted to hold a record.
Yeah. Okay. That I understand.
Guess what? UK,
Undefeated champs.
step up your game because you got a backyard bub with a faster smart car than your garage has got.
Champs is here.
Just saying, that goes out to big over there in UK.
Yeah.
You
the chat
claiming
has
this
been
win for
discussing more of the
US?
Dr. Pepper than anything.
Oh, I am definitely claiming this one for the US.
Right there, brother.
Yep.
You're damn
Cheers.
right. You are damn right.
Victory is ours. I love it, dude. That's awesome.
Listen, you got to do something.
I love that car.
I love that. I really love that car.
That car
All right.
is
Well,
epic.
we got to go into the next one. So we're back to Jay. Which one am I pulling up here?
Oh boy.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right, so next one, I don't really think it's that underrated
Okay.
if you actually know anything about cars, but we're gonna go into the Ford Focus RS.
There we go.
Badass little
Are you
hatchback.
Excuse
Excuse me, sir.
Really?
So rude.
Wow.
You know, I didn't say a damn word
I know.
about your little 2-door, 3-door smart car, whatever the hell you want to call that thing. Anyway, back to my back to the Focus.
You just turned on you, bro.
Listen,
I'm telling you, you got it. Like
It's all right. It's all right.
left hook. I'm
300.
He has been asking for 10 shows now.
350 horsepower.
350
6-speed
horsepower.
manual.
What was the horsepower again?
350.
Are you serious?
All-wheel drive.
No.
And,
350?
3,400 pounds.
This car makes 350 horsepower.
350 horsepower.
Dear Lord.
Yes, sir. 4-cylinder, 2.3 liter turbocharged motor. And cool thing about it, it has a drift mode to offset the power. And the
Now I'm
all-wheel drive
already
system.
in.
There you go. For those of us that can't drive and need a drift mode. No, I'm just kidding. Listen. What's your hatred on the Focus, man?
I know, right?
You're a Focus fanboy. What happened?
I know. I still am.
All right, what happened? Brother?
That's
Mark
just don't
Lincoln
like the
said,
RS.
still found on road dead.
So, how do you feel? Like, is it because it's like a showroom car? You drive up the showroom, you're gonna pull up at a car show with it.
No.
Is it bought, not built? You know?
No.
Okay.
No, absolutely not. I think. Hey, listen.
Okay.
I thought they were. I still love those cars. I really. I am. Like I said, I am a Focus fanboy. I was just kind of giving you the poop.
I almost got that car instead of the Audi.
You'd be very glad you didn't.
No, what's wrong? What's your gripe?
Really? Okay, I want to hear this inside info.
So the STs are better than the RSs. First off.
Oh yeah.
What?
Yes.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Houseway.
So the RSs just they were not. Ford didn't do a good job preparing the RSs. Those are not a car. Those cars are not meant to be babied around. Those cars are meant like there's an aggressive clutch, the all-wheel drive. Once you start putting any power to them, they like to send the rods right through the blocks.
Nice.
Yeah, I've seen a pile of motors.
And you are the kind of guy that sends stuff through blocks.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Like that car would not be suitable for you.
No.
Now, and a lot of
I
people,
have to. By the way, I have to add Jack Gasper here. Dozer, just pop him one. Ha ha ha.
Sorry, guys. We don't know what's going on with the program, and we lost the comments. So
Yeah. Well, it's actually kind of good because now you don't have to focus on them when
I
they
know.
yell
No,
at
it's
you.
kind of because I feel alone.
Yep.
So
We're in the
alone.
dark.
He's so disconnected.
now we're
And
really
now we
in
just
the
lost
dark.
the whole screen. Oh, there it is back.
Good.
We're back.
No, like the STs, they came front wheel drive. They came with a less aggressive tune, and they were more for like the hot boys. The RSs though, like how was people legit were getting like we did a job at the Ford dealership, and there was probably about 5 or 6 of them blown up
Oh.
with like 10,000 miles on them. And I'm like, what the
I
hell
would have been
happened?
so
Like,
upset.
these young kids were buying these cars for $60,000.
Yep.
They were going and buying the Cobb tuners that are totally terrible for those things. And they were legit going out, putting on a hot tune with no supporting mods and blowing them to smithereens.
So they're just not built to take the aftermarket power. Like, I know, Ford's the Terminator motor.
Yes.
Built from the factory with great internals. You can, throw a Kenny Bell blow ziller on that thing and make crazy amount of power without swapping the internals. Like, are they just missing that nowadays with the quality? Are they skimping out, just getting by with what it comes with? The amount of boost that it's coming with from the factory, the tune.
I think a lot of cars, like a lot of the what do I want to say? Like racing car or whatever, like performance models. They can't, like, the factory makes it to their spec, and that's it. As soon as anybody wants to touch it, back in our day, like different cars came with different motors, and we'd find what motor had like the built internals and stuff like that. It was a cheap mode.
Yep.
Now there's none of that. The factory gives you a performance car or a performance truck, and like if you want to do anything and make more power, you need the supporting mods. And the biggest thing, like a lot of these companies are lacking, is their blocks are junk. They make it out of the cheapest metal they can find. Same thing with the rods. Like my stepmother, Alicia, she has a nasty truck. She's got a Roush. She's got a Roush F-150. That thing is nasty. Nasty, nasty, nasty. But that's the kind of truck, like as soon as you slap a tune in it and you don't do any supporting mods or anything like that, like the thing's got a set of balls already, like the thing screws. But no, you don't do any supporting mods, you blow it to smithereens. And it's just like nowadays I feel like car companies are doing this to us more and more and more because they don't want us, like the car companies, all the politicians, all this stuff, they don't want us modifying cars anymore. They don't want us modifying trucks. It's like, here, you get what you get and be happy with it.
Well, I don't want to blame companies for the aftermarket thing. I want to blame the government for the limitations that they keep putting on us more and more, to saying it used to be SRT was a big deal, Mopar was a big deal, TRD, all these big companies, Nismo, all these guys had this stuff that they supported, and now they're being told if you do anything to the car that makes it more power. You used to buy a supercharger for Toyota straight from the factory, and now you can't do that.
But those car companies did that for us so we could have more power, and we wouldn't get in trouble because it came from the factory. Right. Because like if you slap on a supercharger or anything, or you change out a turbo or something like that, what happens? The good old check engine light.
Well, now you guys don't know this, but we're having a little bit of a revolt in the chat, and the thing that they brought up was based on the idea of the SRT4, one of the most moddable cars that could outrun a Viper, and they want to know you guys' input on it. So
the SRT,
who said
a bunch of people,
Like, so the SRT,
like 4 people at least.
So I actually watched the commercial on the original Dodge commercial Dodge put out for the SRT4, and they came out with that car to compete with the STI.
Ooh. Oh, it doesn't. Well, the other thing is that people didn't realize the original Neons had a stripped out rally version that you could buy that was real expensive for being that thing was odd. Yeah, look it up. And they were very hard to get. They had no frills. It was a real base car, like manual transmission. And then that car became really popular, so they said, hey, you know what, let's do this SRT4 version. And that car was just nasty. Like, it just made power.
Like the SRTs, when they came out, they were one of a kind. They really were. Still are. Like a lot of people, the SRT4s are coming around. Like those old Dodge Neons, they're like the new Honda Civic. Everybody wants them. Everybody's like, they're all over the place. People are buying them up. But they're a hot boy car. Those cars, like they came with all that power with no traction control, It's like a hot boy car. That's something that you would go out and like you'd rip a fat burnout in, or like you'd launch it and just grab first, second, third, then go on to fourth and be way too low in RPM and just bleh, you know. But it was like the ultimate show off car. Those cars are cool as hell.
Right.
I just remember them having a very distinct sound.
Yes.
Like you could hear it coming from a mile away. Like, oh.
Yes.
Well, the cool thing was it didn't actually
Subaru.
have a muffler. It just had straight pipes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight pipes came factory with like its own boost gauge.
Yep.
The seats were like nice. Like I think it was one of the first cars in the U.S. that actually had like nice racing seats.
Oh my God! Shane Bryant Ford Probe GT.
Yes.
Good one.
Yes. Those
My cousin
hey,
had one of those.
those things were a dime a dozen back then too.
Yep.
Those things came four
I just
cylinder
had
turbo.
another one in mind. Cobalt SS.
Yep, the Cobalt SS. You know you could get those supercharged, and some of them came turbo too.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought they all
Jeez.
the Cobalt SSs only came supercharged, but no, some of them came with turbos.
Yep. All right. So, I think is it my turn yet, or is
think
it?
it
It is your turn.
You sure?
Yeah, it's your turn.
Phil could do
'Cause
another
I went
one.
last.
All right,
Well,
so
you're next.
I don't have any problem whatsoever
rattled
jumping
off
in
five
mine.
more.
So, another import car that I have not seen a lot of was huge on the gray market back in the day. And the thing that people don't realize is that there's a lot of racing versions that have very similar power and setups to the Eclipse GSX.
Yeah.
So I think you could basically just slap the under interior on it, like some of the race cars were all-wheel drive and whatnot, or rear-wheel drive those. But the Mitsubishi FTO.
I used to be obsessed
Love
with these
it.
cars when I was a kid.
I used to play it on Gran Turismo.
That's where my
favorite.
obsession started.
Favorite.
And that was a good obsession.
Those cars, but they're just those cars. Those FTOs, they are like they're not. When you think like Japanese car, you don't think the FTO. Like when you see the
you
FTO,
don't.
you're like, that's not a Japanese car. Yeah, it's a Mitsubishi.
Right.
They're way sleeker. They're just it's the same thing with like the RX-7. They're just way sleeker and they're not as I don't know. They're just they stand out.
So for one of the shows that I did for the What It's Like the Automotive Experience show that I used to host all the time.
Yep.
I wanted to show off some of those aftermarket stuff, and I got to drive one. And I have to say, the biggest complaint, and I had the upgraded engine, was I think it made under 200 horsepower from the factory motor, which was a huge letdown for it. But I really think that if we brought them here and started getting more and more, and they're fairly cheap to import. So, but if we saw more and more of them over here, I think the idea is we'd be able to find a way to swap motors from Mitsubishi to Mitsubishi and make some pretty powerful cars.
Now those come front wheel drive or rear wheel drive?
For all of them were front wheel drive. They came with the problem was they had that stupid V6 Mavec motor, which was like 190 horsepower with like 3 liter
garbage.
So yeah,
and they didn't come out with any standards, did they?
Yeah. Oh, they had standards.
They did?
They had everything. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cause
that car started back in what 92 or something.
Oh,
something
really?
Like that. Yeah, it's an older car.
I was actually watching a cool movie the other day with Jackie Chan called Thunderbolt.
Yeah.
You
You know
that?
what? I just saw something from that the other day.
Hey, I found my buddy Matt told me about it, and I found it on YouTube, and I watched it. It was legit probably one of the dumbest movies I ever watched in my life. Like nothing lined up, but all the cars. And I didn't know Jackie Chan was an Evo enthusiast. He has an Evo collection.
Oh yeah.
And like the car, the Evo that they had in the movie was his personal car.
Well, what people don't realize, especially for Japan, like they have when you go to a mall. There's malls that are dedicated to like aftermarket car stuff. Like you just go and there's like aisles of stuff. And they have their culture is still very strong. Like they're doing lowriders now. They're doing but they have a lot of history and stuff. I'd like to go over that at some point, but I don't think it'd work for us because it's a lot of info.
No, but the funny thing is like with the Japanese cultures, cars are actually a big part of their culture, like those bazooka cars,
that's what
cars
I was gonna
and stuff
say.
like that. Like
bazooka.
That's actually like that's part of their culture. That's part of their heritage. Like modifying cars and stuff like that.
The funny thing was how it's tied to the original groups that were basically like we had the Harley guys that came back as veterans, and they started the bike clubs, and then those became like the Hells Angels and that kind of thing. Well, for them, it was the same thing, but they were more flashy. So they came back and they had motorcycles, but they moved over to cars. So unlike us, it kind of stuck with bikes and had our own car community based on, so basically like the NASCAR, though our car community is based on still running instead of being veteran or whatever based. So it was more outlaw than theirs. But that's the thing is theirs were intertwined completely together.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah. There's a huge, dude. I've read over the thing is there's a lot. There's 3 different like tiers, but each tier has 4. So like, can you get into like stuff like the Yakuza had the VIP cars or that kind of stuff. But that was the thing is you started seeing each kind of trim that came off of these. There was one group. Then was the motorcycles. Then there was 3 more groups, and now it's become huge. So it's all different ones, and everybody has their thing. And now they're into supercars. So you see the Lamborghinis with all the lights, and also guys like RV guys or I think it was K car guys.
Yep.
And then the other thing was like you were saying with the guys with the crazy. We showed last week or whatever. We were showing the crazy car show. But yeah.
But I mean, Their culture is very big on the automotive.
No, Jack. Nobody here ever grew up. If that's what you're asking.
Who didn't grow
Jack
up?
Jack goes. Primo, are you telling us they grew up? And I'm like, no, I'm never saying anybody here grew up.
No, me, I'm going to be 36 next month, and I am still a child.
Hey, I got a question for you guys.
Okay.
What car has been the most disappointing that like you've ever driven, whether it was on a test drive or a friend's car? What is the most disappointing thing you ever driven?
Absolutely Ford Probe.
Really?
Yeah, worst car
Torque
ever
steer?
drove. Like I drove an FT. The FTO was one of those cars that I didn't believe it was as underpowered as it was. But the car, you just looked at it like, man, everything about this car works. It cuts through the air. It feels amazing. I just need the pedal to do something. The Ford Probe was everything I hated about cars.
I heard the Ford Probe had torque steer like you read about.
Yeah.
Like rip the wheel right out of your hands.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. It was just awful. And that's the thing is I've used like at Dodge SRT4s. I don't know, people didn't realize this. There was a lot of accidents based on torque steer, but I'm telling you, but it's still like I was like, dude, the SRT just kept the SRT4, it just kept beating on you, and it kind of felt like that old school kind of how cars used to just not. It wanted to hurt you, so you just get in it, drive it, and just pray, And I am for one of those people that miss that old school like I'm gonna hit the gas and pray while I'm hitting the strip. So
what's one car that disappointed me while I drove?
No, Vinny says the Chevy SSR, and I've never driven one. I don't know if I could, but
I think I'd rather drive the Oscar Mayer Wiener.
I'd drive I would drive that all day.
Dude,
that's all it reminds me of.
Phil,
it's so bulbous. It just looks like a penis rolling down the street.
Penis in a bottle.
Me and Phil would rock that Oscar Mayer Wiener truck,
dude,
just driving down, just like,
day.
hey everybody, it would be great.
I honestly don't think that I've driven a car that's disappointed me.
Never.
I haven't come, and I've driven a lot of cars, but see, I take cars for what they are. I take cars for what they are. I don't walk up to a car with expectations, because that's how you get bummed out.
Yeah,
but I don't walk up to cars with expectations, because you don't know.
I think that, what people will say that's kind of silly, but it is 100% true. Like, you cannot judge a car by its cover.
But I walk up to a car with expectations, and I feel like I keep my standards high.
You have high standards?
When it comes to buying another vehicle, that my standards are just getting higher as far as like what pleases me, what am I really looking for. And the Audi, I'm gonna have to say, was definitely like by far something that just blew my mind as far as drivability and everything. The launch was wicked fun.
I am so impressed with that car. Like, it's no
fun.
joke.
Very fun. Most disappointing test drive I've ever taken was what it. So I'm always confused. So it's the FRS. Is it a Toyota or a Scion?
Yes, it is both. Okay.
So the FR.
So
confusing as hell.
It started off. Okay, so I'm going to get you on this one. So it started off as a Scion and a Subaru.
Yeah.
Then Scion went out of business because they were supposed to sell to kids. They didn't sell to kids. They just kind of blew it. But the thing was, is Toyota still wants to offer it. So then they reintroduced it as the Toyota 86.
Yeah.
Now we have. So it's still a Subaru though. It's still both.
The FRS is the one I drove, which was the base model.
Yep.
And the guy, like the salesman that went on the test drive, I mean, he was a bigger guy, but that car, like it felt like we were towing something.
I hope to Christ that my buddy Manny's not watching right now.
Why is that?
Because he has a BRZ.
You know, I hope and pray that the BRZ has a little bit more than what that. And you know what? Maybe
I just feel like you know what?
Maybe
I
if
felt
I was
the
by
same
myself.
way.
I mean, this gentleman that was with me, he had to be a good 220, 240.
What do you got against fat guys?
I'm just saying, you put a little weight into anything with a small motor, and it's gonna feel a little different.
I drive a smart car.
Listen, if
almost
my
200
wife hops
horsepower.
in your smart car, that car is gonna outperform you driving that thing any day of the week.
Well,
it's
when
just
I sit in my
power
car,
to weight ratio.
Right.
It's just no.
I
I
felt
got
the
nothing
same way.
against my
I
big
felt the
boys.
BRZ
I
made it.
feel I'm a proud big boy myself.
You're attacked.
I just
I'm triggered.
I'm over that 210 mark, but I'm good.
Me too. I'm just shy over 210.
But I'm only 5'7", okay?
But like I said, I think that the BRZ was somehow more powerful, even though it had the same numbers. And I don't know what it was about it.
You want to know why? Because Subaru made the BRZ and sold it to Toyota, and Toyota can't make a Boxster motor to save their lives.
Well,
it has to have better stats than what that FRS had. There's no way.
Well, I got an even better one. Richard says the Mopar Prowler.
Ooh,
the Plymouth Prowler.
I love that car.
That is a badass car. You know what that screams?
My stepfather I swear.
It's great when it doesn't break down all the time.
Cruella DeVille. That's something Cruella DeVille from 101 Dalmatians. Every time I see that, I'm like, that's something Cruella DeVille.
I feel like if the Challenger never came out, that's the car my stepfather would be sporting today.
Oh,
but he would have done some craziness and put, a Viper motor in it or something.
Okay, now I'm into that. Viper motor,
Prowler. That's what I'm talking about. Look that up. That has somebody's done it somewhere.
Oh, absolutely.
V10 Prowler.
Oh, probably.
Sign me up.
I'm not. Listen.
I think Richard just said, what is it? Modified smart car. I don't know if that was disappointment or not, but we'll find out.
Wow, Richard, you disappointed in the modified smart car, Richard? Richard. Oh, Richard.
But Reggie says Scion XB, and that's
Oh yes, the Toasters. Hey, listen.
I want to do that, as I always said. Make one, paint it brown, and put a thing on it that says this side up, and make it a UPS box.
That's funny.
Those things. I like the XBs.
Right.
So my sister had one, and it felt like driving a mini box truck.
Really?
Like you felt like you were over the wheels.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Very fun and weird to drive. It was a little 5-speed. It was fun.
What was it? Who was the guy?
Slow as all hell, but it was fun.
There was a guy around here that had an
Felt like I was
XB,
driving
and
a
that's how
mail
I
truck.
met him. And then he bought another car. I want to say FRS, and he wide-bodied that. I want to say his name is Salik.
Oh, Salik.
Salik, there you go. Thank you.
Salik, my boy.
Yeah, his cars
Oh,
were legendary.
That boy. He. I don't know if he's an import evolution. I think
he did hot up. So that's how I met him. Was when I went into the show. The people that were there were like, "Hey, you got to check this guy out. He's in Toyota was being featured at the show, which was really, I'm going to say it's 08, 09.
Yep.
And so Toyota was being featured. So they're like, you got to go over and check out this guy, Scion. It is like so sick. So I went over and saw it, and he wasn't there. So I didn't get to really meet him. Then I met him later, and it was like, oh, that was your car? Like, yeah, that's how, like, yeah. But that's how they were like, you guys got to get together. So then I finally ran into him. But by then, I think either bought the other car. Something had happened. So maybe I think he still had that one, but he'd already switched over and he bought the Scion. and now he was starting to build that up.
That thing was nasty.
That green car, yep.
That green. So he painted it like a maroon red after.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
He redid it.
Didn't he get stuck on the beach with it at one point?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez.
Something.
But that car, when it was green, that's when I first started coming around, is when he had it when it was green.
Yeah, it was
awesome.
awesome.
I saw it over, I think it was at Brokey's, was it Thompson? Where they did all the drifting, they have.
There was 2 events they did, and Thompson was like the second because they couldn't do it at the other track, and then they moved to Thompson, and Thompson was the best place to do it.
Yeah, because Thompson had like the garage where they did the VIP area, and all the cars were in the garage. I saw that thing, and I was just like, oh my God, the thing was just nasty.
Oh, wide body, perfect. The color was like multi-layered. It had very lowrider paint.
Yes,
it was just spot on.
And then he did it maroon.
Yeah.
And I hate the color red. I am not a.
But you liked that one, didn't you?
But it's just like the way, it was like the paint. Whoever painted that car was amazing. And you want to know what else is amazing is his TV. And then he got rid of that. And then he hopped in a Aston Martin.
Yeah, that's right. Oh my God, yeah.
And he had to figure it out because
I think he moved over to Car Gurus and was doing really well there. Yeah. And then he bought it, and then he brought it. We had 2 shows. He brought it to one of the shows, and I think he was selling it then. And that's where I was like, oh, he's getting rid of it. There we go.
So that car was actually owned by a Ferrari enthusiast.
Yep.
So they had the car painted red and did the brown interior like the Ferraris.
Nice. Oh man.
But that car was so clean.
Yeah. And he even with the lowering he did on it, I want to say it was so tastefully done.
That was on air suspension.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And
it was just so nice.
I guess they didn't make a kit or something like that. Nope. So he had to figure it all out himself.
Yeah, and the guys he worked with were just so on point and patient about what they were doing. Like it's hard to explain to people, like all these shops that we used to work with that were just. There were nightmares to work with. And then people just wouldn't put in the work. They just wanted to be bolt in or whatever. Mm-hmm. And to have a shop that would actually put the love into a car was just, you were spoiled brat at that point,
absolutely.
You know?
A lot of those Import Evolution guys, the people that they deal with, like garages that do a lot of their work and stuff like that, they don't play.
So Reggie called you out, and he says, I miss the old Dodge Omni GT Turbo. People really do underestimate them.
The Dodge Omni. You want to know what's so funny?
Okay, go ahead.
I was at the auction the other day, and there was a red Dodge Omni. I think it was from the 80s. It was like it was a hatchback. It was a hatchback.
Okay.
I think it was an Omni. I'm pretty sure.
Now I don't even know.
And it had. This thing was clean, low miles, porno red interior. Like dude,
that was the best description ever.
That was just like it was like a blast from the past, like something that like.
Look at that thing.
I can't see it because the screen.
I feel black. The screen fell out again.
Yep.
Right. I gotta find a way to pull this picture up. We have so many technical difficulties today. It was we had a light fall down. It's just crazy.
You're gonna take me to the auction, buddy.
Oh, it was an 81.
Yeah.
It was an 81. My father just corrected me.
There you go.
I'm gonna go on a trip to the auction.
Ooh.
Take me with you.
Oh, it's working now, Primo. Yep. I think it's because it falls asleep.
It does. It falls asleep.
Move the mouse around.
I gotta. No, it's not that. I gotta buy it. I'm just gonna get an See, I have the setup is the thing that changes over to HDMI, and I think the other system doesn't read it, and it gets choked up. So I'm like. I just need an HDMI to HDMI for the monitor, and I'll be fine. So
yes,
there you go.
But anyway, I don't want to screw up the story. Go.
But yeah, it was an 81, and the thing was just clean, and I was just looking at him like, you know what? That's something I'd probably drive too. Just this ugly ass cool car with this. I hate red, but still, I would still drive it.
I seen one cooking around the track at Seekonk Speedway.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. It had to be a few years back, all black. And everybody was like, "Oh, look at the Dodge Omni!" And then he came around the corner on three wheels.
That's awesome. I do. People didn't realize, but back in the day, people used to get these old cars. I want to say like Gremlins and stuff like that. Put these massive motors in them, and you're like, that car will not handle that, and they would have drum brakes, and the power they made would overcome the drum brakes. It was the best. It was like why are we doing? Like, you get in a car like that, and you're like, I feel afraid for my life.
No, never.
No,
never.
The car is still wrong. I got brakes fully applied. The drum brakes are just spinning. It does, yeah. And I'm like, if you did it right and did the disc brakes all around, you never had the problems with those drums. I don't know how anybody did it. So Jack says, Dozer, you come with me to the auction. I am a lot more fun than Phil.
Yeah, I'm boring.
I bet.
I'm boring. I am one of the most boring people you'll ever meet in your life.
Jack, I'm gonna just write off a couple IOUs if you just
Oh God,
hook me up.
Let's just make sure you go and get yourself a nice pair of cowboy boots to walk around with them.
Do they take Venmo there?
Probably not.
Oh,
couldn't tell you.
Dang it!
All right, so to end it off, let's see. Did you have a car left there, Jay?
No, it's my turn now.
You did. What car you want?
The Volkswagen Scirocco.
Hey.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I'll give you that one.
What is that face for?
I love that car.
No, that face.
I love that car. Well, you're
thing.
just wrong about it because
The
I love that
Scirocco,
car.
Yeah.
dude. So just imagine if Volkswagen made a DeLorean that with doors that didn't go up, and
Right.
just open normal.
Yeah, it was just a weirdly
Dude,
cool car.
It was the prettiest ugly thing. It's like an ugly chick with makeup.
Yeah, Volkswagen's made like some awesome cars over the years. Like there's another one, Carrero.
The Corrado, yeah. The
Corrado.
Corrado.
Yeah, the Corrado.
Corrado.
Was,
Yeah.
I love
The
that
VR6.
one.
Those are nice.
Corrado.
Those are nice. But those
Love
are
that
those.
thing.
But those Volkswagens like the Corrado and stuff like that. Those are the ones that like everybody loves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the Scirocco. Like you have to like you gotta love this thing.
Google this thing.
Dude,
Is
look
it
it up.
like your?
Now I'm gonna pull it up.
Oh, he's gonna pull it up right now. Just wait until you see. You're gonna throw
So
up in your
now
mouth.
notice the spelling too. The
Yeah, you're
spelling's
gonna
weird.
throw up in your mouth. The new ones that we don't get here are beautiful,
So we're
but like
talking about the
it's-
old ones.
Yeah, this heaper.
Like that right
Like-
there.
Oh,
Can you
yeah.
see that?
Yeah, like that thing
There
is
you go.
ugly as sin. Like look at that thing. But you know what? I love it. And
Yeah.
you know what? You know what the worst part is I screwed up so bad.
Why?
So bad. So I actually had one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Gray, right?
My favorite.
And I bought it. I bought it for $1,500.
You sold Jay when you actually just it didn't matter what the car was.
Doesn't
You're like
matter.
gray.
It's
Done.
gray. I like it.
Here's a pile of shit. It's gray. Sold.
Oh yeah, you give him gray.
Sold!
You give him gray poop and he's in. Yeah. Like,
I like it.
So I was I bought a Volkswagen Scirocco. It was '86. The guy who owned it before the guy I bought it off of blew up the factory motor because in the U.S. they only came with I think it was a 24 valve.
I got to say one thing, Joe. We're not talking about Aztecs here. That's it. Just sorry. Go back to what you're doing.
Aztecs.
Yeah, Aztec. The Pontiac Aztec.
Ooh.
Right.
The camping.
Yeah. Right. That's why I wasn't doing because now you made Phil sick. Anyway. What? All right. So back to your story.
Was that going down as the worst car ever?
That's going down as I just vomited.
It's
on the floor.
definitely got up in the ranks. Yeah.
Okay. Continue.
So, I bought one for $1,500, but the kid who had it before this guy blew the factory gas motor, and he took a non-turbo diesel motor from like an '80s Jetta and slapped it in there. Redid it. The kid worked at a machine shop, rebuilt the whole motor, put it in there, right? And I just bought it because I was like, this thing's ugly but cool, and this and that, and blah blah blah. So it kind of sat. I really didn't do much with solid motor mounts, so that thing you would just like. But that thing screamed. Dude, that thing is screwed. My brother needed a car. So you know what? For Christmas, I give him the Scirocco. You need a car? Go ahead, take it. It has one of the nastiest Volkswagens around. Just the ugliest, nastiest Volkswagens around. Drives it for a little bit. Then one of the fuel lines is leaking. He needs to do a fuel line. He gets too lazy with the fuel line. So instead of fixing it and stuff like that, just sells it back to the guy for $1,000. I'm like, dude, you did that? I'm like, oh God.
I always tell people when I give something up that I deep down don't really want to part ways with. I always say if you're gonna sell it, you gotta offer it to me first.
Yeah. No.
Did you miss that part?
I mean, he told me, he's like, oh, if you want it back, you can take it. I was like, are you going to fix it? You need a car. But, I'm too nice. It's the same thing when I sold him I had a SVT Ford Contour, and I love...
Another nice sleeper.
Yep. I love it, love it. And you know what the best thing about it was? Listen, you take a Canon drop-in filter, you poke a couple of holes in the factory airbox,
okay.
and then you go and get yourself a throttle body from a 5.4
I thought you were just
Triton.
poking holes in the filter.
No, he's just doing it to do it, right?
Okay.
Every car I buy, I poke some holes in the airbox for gold.
So you Swiss cheese airbox housing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you take a throttle body from a 5.4 Triton, and it fits right there. Listen, and you cut the mufflers off and leave the resonators, and you have one of the peppiest Ford Contours you'll ever have in your life.
You use the word peppy and contour in the same statement, and I'm actually impressed by that.
Oh, let me tell you. Hey, I wish I still had it. My brother needed a car, and I was like, you know what? I'll part ways with it. Sold it to him for $900. Ended up in the junkyard.
So I gotta say, just before we close up tonight, I have to say that we have not been defined by the greatest cars that we've owned. We've been defined by the true, and here you go, shit boxes that we have lived with. That when we cut our teeth on that painful, mine was the Porsche 944. Mm-hmm. If any car has ever tortured me as much as that car has, and I loved every minute of it because I was trying to constantly fix it. You guys are saying the same stuff that I always say. And it's funny because I didn't even think about that. I was like, oh, I got the Genesis. And I'm like, that Genesis has 120,000 miles. It's had no problems. Every time it has a problem, I just fix it. But it's like, this is little or minute, like tires, brakes, stuff that... But you think about that, and I really love that car, and I would never give it. I just never give it up. I'm gonna put a V8 in it at some point, wide bodied or whatever. But that's the thing is I just said I'm waiting for the next level with that car, and then I think that the reason I'm in it is because of all the torture that I went through with all these other rides.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let me tell you, every car that I own, people are like, "Oh, that's cool" or whatever. I'm like, it's just a shit box. And I call it.
Well, that's the car you're not afraid to do something to.
But you know what? It's just, when you live this lifestyle,
By the way, none of us live Phil's lifestyle.
Wow.
You have a great lifestyle, buddy. Wait, hold on. Let me bring it up here. Nobody has anything that cool. I'm just saying.
But you know what? But you know what the funny thing is I didn't know it was gonna become that. I took a car. Yep. I'm into stuff that people don't like. Everybody has
and that's what people should learn from you.
And it's just don't a lot of people when they're in this lifestyle, they want something that's going to impress everybody else.
Right.
There's a giant divide. You get all these enthusiasts. And on one side, there's the people who play it safe and they stick with the cars that they've already seen modified, and they modify those and they try their hardest to differentiate themselves from every other one. And then on the other side of the divide, there's people where they'll take a car that they haven't seen modified and they spend all this money and countless hours of custom fabrication and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong. A lot of my stuff I didn't do myself. And I will be the first to admit. But you know what? These hands, almost every step of the way, were in the process. I was cutting stuff. I was helping fabricate stuff. I was sitting there brainstorming.
And we need to have a show down the road of that, and remind me later, because I wanted to say a lot of people have said to us, built not bought. Mm-hmm. And the thing is having been on a race team, having helped a drift team, having been on a motorcycle race team, having done stuff with a drag team, I've realized there is no such thing as just one person building a car.
Oh, hell no.
It doesn't exist.
No,
and the
doesn't.
thing is I'm okay with saying, you built it and you had the design and maybe you think that that's advanced, but the idea of looking at somebody and saying, I have to build everything myself, there comes a point when you're a human being. You can't do everything.
You can't, because
it takes a village.
There's a lot of aspects to a car that one person can't fathom. And you know what? There's some people out there who spend years on top of years on top of years on top of years building a car, and granted, 30 years later, it's done by them, but it took them 30 years. Right. No, I want to get a car. I want to get out there, and I want to, I like to show off. I'm not a big show off with a lot of stuff. But my cars, that's me. That is me. One thing that I take great pride in besides my family is my cars. My cars are what define me. And it's so funny because people will see an odd car drive by and they're like, dude, that's something you would drive. And I'm like, you bet your ass.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. Yeah.
But on the other side of that divide, like I was saying, there's people who aren't afraid to take chances. We don't know what the outcome's going to be. It might be horrible, and it might be a bust.
Right.
And I've had those.
Yeah, my Maxima was a bust.
I've had cars like that are a bust, and I've spent countless hours. But the smart car, I want to say that I am very proud of myself with the way it came out.
Oh, it looks perfect.
What's done? Oh, there's more to come too. It ain't even done yet.
Right.
But
you gonna lift it next year?
Huh?
No,
not only did you just give him an idea, but he might actually go lower. So,
well, actually, yeah. I reached out. I have a set of AirTech air coilover bag system. I was on the phone with them for a week and a half every day figuring things out, and they actually got me a bag over coil kit. Mm-hmm. We pieced it all together. Damn. And so it'll be a little lower. But I've been looking at pictures of lifted smart cars actually.
All right, so that's it, guys. We're at the 110 mark, and I know the show does. We're gonna end up doing 2 shows at some point here or something. I don't know. It's get something because too many people here are wanting to talk constantly about stuff. So what we learned today is really, and I think the lesson that we want to take away is the idea that we're showing you cars that are underappreciated because we want you to think outside the box. We want you to think about cars that you never thought of in the past and say, you know what? I'm going to do up this car, or I'm going to do up that car. Are there cars that we missed? Absolutely. And that's the beauty of the car community, is there's tons of opportunities to do something other than burnouts in parking lots, to actually put some quality time into a vehicle, make it your own,
and appreciate it,
identify with it, and then go out and show it to the world. And you know what? Maybe people like it. Maybe people don't. You know what? There's a lot of cars that we hate that Phil's I don't like red, but you know what? I like this car. Mm-hmm. So the idea of impress us with what's coming out, and we would love to have you more. Guys, say goodbye to everybody.
Bye, guys. Thank you for tuning in. And sorry we lost the comments.
Have a good one.
Primo's been reading them off to us.
Be safe.
I keep cutting them off. Let's see if I can catch
Keep it under 100.
What is it? No, go over 100.
Hey.
So as always, guys, Wednesday at 7 p.m. every week, X, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all the cool platforms. Remember, you podcast guys are Friday at 10 a.m. So if you guys are on Amazon, etc., you guys can hear it there, which is voice only. But hey, you get what you get. And I'm glad to see you guys are dialing in. I want to thank everybody for making the comments they did, putting all the effort in. These guys definitely appreciate it. We're gonna see you. Right?
Yes.
And happy Valentine's Day. Go ahead.
Happy Valentine's Day. Special shout out to my wife Stephanie. I love you. Thank you for everything you do.
Valentine's Day.
And you got Phil to take his shirt off on the show. So.
Yep. Hey, fellas, make sure you guys go and appreciate your old lady today. Yeah. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love it. Dude, I haven't heard that in forever. All right, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you next time. Have a great